First of all, I want to thank whoever organized the weather for today. I know this is a typical December in New Hampshire. 40 degrees, sunny. I do notice that the weather's been better since November 7th up here in New Hampshire.
That was the moment when America woke up to the fact that something strange is afoot. Anyone thinking of running for president has to go to New Hampshire and impress members of their own party there. The early primary election can make or break candidates. But Barack Obama, the Democrat senator from Illinois, didn't just go to New Hampshire. He arrived there. At the two places he was due to speak, they ran out of tickets. The fire marshals had to intervene to stop people packing in. At a book signing, 600 people queued for hours to see him. More than 1,000 paid $25 each to go to a rally.
There is nobody in American politics today that captures the public's attention like Barack Obama. I've had a chance to meet with him in private. There's a casualness to him. There's a personality that is so mesmerizing. You walk into a room with him and he sucks the air out and he sucks the attention in.
Obama is a break with an imperfect past. He first came to national attention in the summer of 2004, then a complete unknown, not even a senator. He spoke at the Democrats' convention in Boston, and boy, did he make the most of that opportunity.
The pundits like to slice and dice our country into red states and blue states. Red states for Republicans, blue states for Democrats. But I've got news for them, too. We worship an awesome God in the blue states, and we don't like federal agents poking around in our libraries in the red states. We coach Little League in the blue states, and yes, we've got some gay friends in the red states.
But I know what you're thinking about the speech. You're thinking, where's the beef? Sure, he stood up in front of a lot of people and talked nice, as they say in these parts. But is that huggy-kissy stuff, followed by balloons falling in large numbers from the rafters of the hall, really so impressive, so mould-breaking? The fact is, Barack Obama is actually of mixed race. His mum was a white girl from Kansas, and you can't get any whiter than that. His early years were spent in Hawaii, and he even lived for a time in Indonesia. But the significant fact is that his dad came from Kenya, so there's no slave ancestry. None of the oppressive history of black America rests on his shoulders. As Amanda Carpenter from the political magazine Human Events points out, he's never had to fight a tough electoral battle.
If you look at the way he won his seat for the United States Senate, it started out with a 7-way Democratic primary. Not a single candidate ran a negative ad in that Democratic primary. So he went through pretty much untouched, unscathed. And if you talk about why he's never been confronted, this is a large reason why. Then you had the situation where the Republican Jack Ryan, who was supposed to face, had to drop out of the race because court documents were unsealed about his divorce that were very salacious. And then you had Republican Alan Keyes come in, who was a very weak candidate, and Barack Obama essentially could just walk his way into the U.S. Senate, and then from there we know the rest of the story.
Barack Obama's CV is dominated by traditional left-wing issues and experience. After studying political science at Columbia University in New York, he moved to Chicago, where he became deeply involved in being, not to put too fine a point on it, a lefty activist. Nothing there to be ashamed of, his supporters say, but this period in his life will come under much scrutiny.
People will say he's not red or blue, but he's purple. But while he gives the lip service so that he can play to a more conservative audience, when you look at his voting record, especially that he established in the Illinois State Senate, he is a liberal at the end of the day, and I don't think people are seeing how far left he really is.
But that's where the charm and the intellectual openness come into play. Obama does believe in things that many Americans would need to be convinced about. Which leads us to the greatest policy strength of Barack Obama, probably the real reason he's currently riding so high. Along with the charm and the looks and the cross-party appeal, Senator Obama has no foreign policy experience. A friend of mine is now advising the senator. My friend revealed this at a party the other day and immediately became the center of attention, a mark of how association with Obama is currently the Washington in thing. Kirk Dillard, the Republican from Illinois, has no qualms about Obama representing the U.S. to the rest of the world.
One big plus for Senator Obama is he has lived in foreign lands, and he has, as a child, lived in a place other than America. And I think those real-life experiences certainly can make him capable of conducting United States foreign policy in a manner that not only protects the United States of America's interests, but those of our allies throughout the world.
As Humphrey Bogart says to Ingrid Bergman at the end of Casablanca, we'll always have Paris. For Barack Obama and the American people, this last year has been Paris. This is a story of love at first sight. It's a story of hearts ruling heads. Where will it end? Well, quite possibly in tears.